Can you share some tips that people can use to like just drop in and just surrender and come back to that neutrality?
Yeah, well, I always say it's very simple, and this is why we bypass it because it really is simple. And for those that are interested, on my website, I wrote a small book. It's called The Pocket Guide to Presence. It's an ebook. It's $4. And it has pictures and colors about getting and staying present that are in their energy that's in it. And some of the techniques in there are like you wake up in the morning and your head starts taking off in your day and you bring yourself back and you ask yourself, what am I wearing? Why did I choose this? What color is it? And then your head takes off again. You bring yourself back. And so it's really that simplistic practice of noticing, okay, why am I doing what I'm doing? Feeling your feet on the floor. What am I standing on? What am I doing? Because we're so robotic, in different things. And so this is really the most important practice because like I said before, everything is frequency and energy. And all we're doing in human existence is matching frequencies in order to be comfortable. And think of frequencies simply as emotions. And by universal law, faster moving frequencies always try to raise slower ones up to match them. So the example would be like if you and I come around each other and I'm happy and you're mad, what's going to happen is I'm going to irritate you because I'm vibrating at a faster rate and because my happy is trying to raise you up. So as long as I stay happy, you only have two choices. You either get happy with me or you go away. And so, we begin to notice like I pick my clothes by what I feel. I felt green today. I was like, okay, so I want to be in this energy. This is a heart. This is the connectedness. This is earth. And so I just felt it. And also, when I woke up my own self and one of the reasons that it's difficult to even like go into meditations and be in that quiet space is because we don't recognize that the space that we're in maybe doesn't provide for that. And so, when I was first like waking up to my space, I realized that nothing in my space was me. I mean, this was many, many years ago, but I had all these hand-me-down things that I was given from people and I didn't even know what I liked or didn't like. If somebody asked me what was my favorite color, I'd say, I don't know. I didn't even have any awareness because, when I grew up, I didn't have anything. Whatever I received, and I was okay with it, but you don't realize that things have energy to them. And so we need to feel them. We need to say, what, is the space that I'm in? What does it feel like? What is happening to me when I'm in wherever I am? And so, these are just really important things. So what I like to do is in the morning before I get out of bed, I purposely keep myself there and I lay in the bed and I check in my body and I don't get up until I'm relaxed and I can feel. And of course, I have practices that I move energies and do different things. But even just the average person, just notice, like, take some breaths, give yourself permission, relax in just for a few minutes so that you can allow yourself to step forward. It's about embodying yourself. We don't do that. We don't give ourselves permission. I mean, I realized for years, I felt like I'm hovering over my bed. I'm just like this. I'm never fully resting into the bed. And so, I had to practice. It takes practice because what we're talking about here is mastering the mind. And that's really what it is. And the mastery of the mind is when I am the master of my emotional response to what shows up in my mind, in my head. Okay. Because like I said, we might not be able to stop the different thoughts on it, but I have a choice of my emotional response to them. And so when I can, have the idea that, okay, I don't know where my money's coming from, but I'm not responding in an anxious way 24/7, I'm beginning to master my mind. And that this is a huge key about your own level of manifestation and your own level of being able to be in like go deeper into meditation and things like that. And it just takes a practice. We have to have a willingness. We have to notice that we are creating this and we have a choice. We also have to notice what we're addicted to. I've told the story before that, I used to wake up in the morning and hear, you're such a failure. And I was like racing around trying to get things done. And I woke up one morning, and the practice is you want to start to notice, what is my thought? What is my emotion? And more importantly, what is it doing to this body? Because remember, the body's everything, right? So I woke up one morning and I started to notice, okay, I got the thought, I'm such a failure. And I felt the emotion. And I realized there was some comfort in this. And I was like, well, that's interesting. Didn't judge it. I just noticed it, that I was comfortable dialoguing that I was a failure. I was like, well, that's interesting. So now that I have the authentic emotion that I'm creating, now I can say, do I want that anymore? I was like, no. So now, next day I wake up, it's still there. But now I can say, you know what? I might not know what success is, but I know I don't want to feel this. That's the moment I disengage from that emotional response. I'm dropped into the unknown. I'm in my heart space. Now I'm not my mind. I'm in my heart space. But we're not taught to be in the unknown. We're taught to be in the known. So what began to happen for me is I started to say, well, what really is failure? And what really is success? And whose voice is this anyway? And what am I doing to myself? And so this is when you start to really wake yourself up about, like, why am I torturing? What am I doing? And that this is the key to you starting to recognize, like, what is my story? And it gets bigger. You start to notice things like when you're around other people, you start to notice, I'm in my head and I'm making judgments and I'm feeling uncomfortable. And why am I doing that? Because this is in my head. What's happening to me? So you get, you just start noticing more, and it'll begin to wake up more things in yourself. I literally have practices before like in this arena. This is very easy because I'm always in, the 0 point, and I pretty much live in the 0 point. But when I'm doing something social, or especially like a date, I purposely will like sit in my car and really drop myself out of my head. So there's no thought. And I'm really in that brand new moment, and I practice that, so that as I'm walking up towards the door or something, I'm continually taking breaths and dropping out of my thought, because we don't realize how quick that is. We live in our heads. We're sizing things up all the time. We're guarding, because we're so programmed to be a certain persona that, it just takes to wake ourselves up and just notice, like, okay, what am I going to do? Let me take a breath. Let me drop out. And it's a practice. So be gentle, be loving, just remember, that it's a loving practice, and it's how much, remember, it's all about self-love. It's how much am I going to love her and let her just show up? That's it. It's really that
Thank
simple.
you.